Hello agents and welcome to my boss by boss guide for the Dark Hours raid on the Division 2. I have covered guides like this in the past for Dark Hours and Iron Horse, but I have recently put a team together to find the easiest ways to beat these two raids in Title Update 12. We have so many more builds now than when I made these guides in the past, and it's got so much easier. My aim of these guides is not to give you world record runs, but instead a very comfortable method that you and your team can use to beat both raids with ease after some practice. We were able to get a 22-minute Dark Hours run with these methods and a 49-minute Iron Horse run. Both times can be improved with the same method and improved on more as you get more comfortable in bringing harder hitting builds. You can also flawless both raids with these methods. Today we are covering Weasel and Dark Hours, and I'm going to go over all roles, the builds that you'll want for each role, and I'll explain our strategy. If you want to see any of the builds in more detail, then they'll be linked down in my video description along with all of the other boss guides for Dark Hours and Iron Horse. While you are there, you'll also find a link to the Best Division community on Discord, which I am a founder of, and if you'd rather just get help by another team through these raids, then we have raid teams on PC, PlayStation and Xbox that can help you. These guides are for players that want to form their own teams and maybe become one of our raid teams one day. At the end of the video, I'll show you a full run of Weasel using the builds and strategies that I suggest, and before we get going, can I just ask that you like and share this video to show it some support, and if you are new to the channel, then be sure to hit subscribe to help me towards my goal of 40,000 subscribers in 2021. The first role for Weasel that we are going to discuss is the Overwatch Opportunistic role. This role will be a common theme throughout all of these boss by boss guides because it gives your team so much extra damage. It works better on some bosses than others, but even if you're only using part of the build, it is better than not having it. The build for this role looks like this. You want to run the Survivalist specialization with a concussion grenade, you want a Scorpio shotgun, and the secondary and sidearm are up to you. For the gear pieces, you want to run the Coyote mask, Badger Tough ammo dump holster, and the Fox's Prayer knee pads. The other three pieces can be Providence, or 2-piece Providence and a Gruppo, or 1-piece Providence, 1-piece Gruppo, and 1-piece Seska. They all do the same thing, and you want the Overwatch talent on the chest piece and the Opportunistic talent on the backpack. Crit damage should be rolled on every single piece with weapon damage, and you'll want 2 pieces with weapon handling and the rest crit chance. Throw 3 crit damage mods in, and the skills that you want to use are the Revive Hive and then a crowd control skill like the Assault Turret, a Decoy, or a Striker Drone. The purpose of this build is to be in cover and give all of your team members 12% extra damage with Overwatch. You will also shoot key targets with the Scorpio to proc Opportunistic, which gives all your team members 10% damage, and you are going to do some crowd control as well. On Weasel, this role plays a huge part. You'll be on B side and you'll first want to switch on an assault turret to throw up at the window where Ricochet will jump out of. There'll be more assault turrets here by other team members and they control the ads while you can all focus on the bosses. Playing in this role, you'll want to stay in cover to proc Overwatch and to shoot the bosses with the Scorpio to proc Opportunistic and more team damage through the Scorpio. Once Ricochet is done, you'll move on to Dizzy before finishing the fight off with Weasel. Another common role that you'll see through all of these guides is the Tardigrade role. We have someone run an exotic Tardigrade chest piece all the way through both raids to give the team that extra survivability, and it keeps people up. The build for this role looks like this. You will want a grenade launcher specialization for the extra damage to target out of cover that it gives you, and for the explosion that it will soak up every 60 seconds. This perk is invaluable on both of the raids. And then for the weapons, you'll just want to go with whatever you're comfortable with. I go with the Eagle Bearer and the Baker's Dozen, and my sidearm is the TDI card custom. With this sidearm, it gives me a skill tier when I equip it, and what I can do to take advantage of that is switch to it before I use a Revive Hive to pick up a teammate. I can then switch back to another weapon to carry on shooting while the Hive picks them up, and what the sidearm does, it gives the Hive 2 charges so that I can then pick the Hive back up after I've got up my teammate. For the gear pieces, I've gone with 2-piece Providence and 1-piece Gruppo, but 3-piece Providence will work the same to give you the same set bonuses, and I have the named Fox's Prayer knee pads with the exotic Tardigrade chest piece. What this chest piece does is give bonus armor to each of your team if their armor is depleted, and they can make use of this every 45 seconds. It also works for yourself, and getting kills with your grenade launcher specialization will refresh the 45-second cooldown for whoever is on it. My backpack talent is Perfect Vigilance, but normal is fine, and you'll want to tailor the last piece to the main weapon that you use. As I am using an assault rifle, I have gone with Fenris. All pieces should have crit chance and crit damage rolls on them apart from the chest piece, and you want to have 3 crit damage mods on as well. The skills you want to use on this build is a Revive Hive and anything else that is required for each boss. On Weasel, the person wearing the Tardigrade build is going to be the only person that goes down A side. When everybody is ready, you will interact with the center console with somebody over on B side. One of you will call out back, center or front, and you'll both hit the screens at the same time. Two bosses will spawn in and you're going to have Dizzy focusing you. Make sure you equip a Crusader shield for some support and wait for Ricochet, who is the boss on the other side, to go down to 2 bars of armor. At this point, everyone who is shooting Ricochet needs to stop while the center console switches are done again. Once done, Ricochet needs to die quickly and then the person doing this role can walk over to B side. Try and keep the aggro from Dizzy so your team can shoot him, and when he is dead, try and get Weasel's aggro. Just shoot at them in the head to get the aggro and call for heals from the healer if needed. If you want to, you can walk all the way back to the healer's hive to get constant heals. This boss fight should not take long, and the point of the second center console switch is so that you can get a full damage phase on the first purple gas phase. The boss fight should be over before the end of the first orange gas phase after the plane rises. The healer role is the final role we get to cover before the DPS role. This role is used for every boss except for one in these boss by boss guides for Dark Hours and Iron Horse. Although the role tasks will change at times, the build can stay the same throughout, and it looks like this. You'll want to run a survivalist specialization for its healing properties, and then have the Scorpio and designated hitter as the weapons. The sidearm does not matter at all, and the most important part of this build, besides from being able to heal people, is that it is 4-piece future initiative, and you'll have these in the mask, chest, holster and knee pad slots, and you also want to have repair skills rolled onto all of them. Future Initiative comes with a lot of healing properties but also the ground control talent. This talent gives every member of your team 15% extra damage if they are at full armor, and the Future Initiative chest piece ups this to 25% extra damage. You then want to have the BTSU gloves so that you can refresh hives and overcharge when it is needed, and you want an Alps backpack. The talent on this is up to you. I feel that the build gives enough heals anyway, so I go Opportunistic and proc it from time to time with the Scorpio. I know we already have a role covering Opportunistic, but it's an additional option if needed. I have the Incendiary Grenade for crowd control, and you want to have the Restorer Hive and a Chem Launcher for heals. I mix up the 3 mods with Skill Haste and Repair Skill mods. On Weasel, the healer is going to go down B side with everybody else. You'll want to drop your hive in the garage area, but in a way that it spreads out of the garage too, while still healing people inside. So basically just don't waste any of the range on it. The person running the Tardigrade on A will be looking to back up into this hive to get heals for their shield, but will also want to stay away from the rest of the group to try and keep aggro. So this is why you need the hive going out a little bit. You should also focus your Chem Launcher on the Tardigrade person unless anyone else needs a heal. There's one more important job that the healer needs to do on this boss fight, and that is to overcharge. Before the fight even begins, the healer needs to make sure that there is a player in each subgroup that has a scanner pulse equipped, and then the healer will destroy their hive just as the second boss Dizzy is about to get killed. As the hive is destroyed, the healer will call overcharge and the 2 people with the pulses will use them. This will give the whole team additional damage to pulsed enemies for 15 seconds, and Weasel will go down very quickly. The extra pulse damage only works for the subgroup that the person using it is in, which is why you need 1 person per subgroup. The DPS role is the final role that will be given to everybody else, so at this point you will already have somebody allocated to the Overwatch Opportunistic role, the Tardigrade role and the healer role. So the remaining 5 people want to put on a good DPS build, and with the way we are set up, an Unbreakable Vigilance DPS build is perfect. You'll be getting all sorts of extra damage from the team buff, so having Unbreakable on the chest piece will just add a ton of survivability to the team also. And this stacks with the Tardigrade too, so if your armor gets depleted, you'll get your armor back plus the bonus armor. A good way to do this build is like this. You want to have the Grenade Launcher specialization for the damage to target out of cover and the immunity to an explosion every 60 seconds. You then want to run with the weapons that work best for you. I go with the Eagle Bearer and the Baker's Dozen, but your favourite assault rifle or rifle will also work. And then I go with the TDI card custom, again just to be able to proc an extra charge to get a teammate up so that I'll be able to pick up my hive again. I go 3-piece Providence with 1-piece Grupo, and then I have the Fox's Prayer knee pads with a Fenris chest for the assault rifle damage. Crit chance and crit damage is rolled everywhere with Unbreakable on the chest and Vigilance on the backpack. I have 3 crit damage mods, and you'll want to run a Revive Hive with whatever other skill you prefer. It is also advisable that one person running this build sacrifices their mask for the Coyote's mask so that you have 2 of these in your team because they can stack. Only one person needs to do this because we included the Coyote's mask on the Overwatch Opportunistic build. So we have 5 people who are left to be allocated, and all 5 will need these DPS builds. They'll go down on B side with the healer and the Overwatch. It should be discussed at this point who should have the scanner pulses on, and then whoever doesn't needs to equip an assault turret. At least 3 turrets need to be thrown up on the window ledge where Ricochet jumps out, and then some can be thrown on the boxes or the forklift truck in the area. One person will need to be allocated to the centre console to interact with it, but everyone else should get into position in the garage area or cover just outside. The further away from the window the better, because you have a better eyesight at Dizzy and Weasel once the plane goes up. Once everyone is ready, the Tardigrade person on A and the person in charge of the console on B will both hit the screens to start off the fight. Everyone on B side should aim for Ricochet's head and stop shooting once his armour is down to 1 or 2 bars. I highly recommend using rifles here. There will be one more interaction on the screens in the middle, and then a call will be made to kill Ricochet. Then switch your focus to Dizzy to kill him, and then Weasel to kill him. The 2 people with the scanner pulses just need to listen out for the overcharge call, which will be as Dizzy is about to die, and then hit their pulse once they hear this call. There's no need to stop shooting on the other 2 bosses. And now it is time to show you a full run using all of these builds and tactics that I've just discussed. Remember to hit like and share on this video so others can find it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And remember, if you want even more help with raids, or if you just want to run with one of our many raid teams, then check out our community link that is in the video description and come and join us once you are finished. There are also links there for all of my builds discussed today if you want to see them in more depth, and to my other boss by boss guides for Dark Hours and Iron Horse. Enjoy the rest of this video, and until next time, stay safe and peace out.
Check out that plane.
Okay. Enough turrets. Nice. Everyone looks in position. So Penny, I'm going to call it. Hit it.
Toxic gas detected.
Which
Middle.
one? Nice.
Middle.
Get ready for it. Stop, guys. Slow
Right.
down. Go.
Go.
Go, go, go. Yeah. And now kill him, guys. Nice.
Deploy Razorback. I'm going to check on Dawson and Carter.
Dizzy. You got damage.
Toxicity at critical level.
Okay, and now it's Weasel.
Do we want the overcharge?
Yeah. Nice pulse. Can't aim.
Look at that. That is.
Oh man, I'm missing all my shots. I would have been down by now. I'm going to take that. He's down there. Well done. GG's, ads.
Going off this data Isaac transfer.
Nice work.